Hello sim racers and welcome Sunday live stream, and it is Assetto Corsa Competizione version 1.9 update, and today we are going to talk about suspensions, dampers, bump stops, all that fancy stuff that make your car behave and actually create mechanical grip. So yesterday, fantastic success. I am so glad and so thankful, guys. You've been really amazing. Actually, I don't know, we had something like 1,600 people looking and watching the live stream. Really amazing results. Thank you so much for your patience. I know it's long streams. We will try to make very short to long didn't watch versions of those. And all right, so what are we going to do tonight? So yesterday we talked about the tires. Obviously we scratched the surface and the most important stuff. Let's have a look again on the document that we have prepared for you, and it will be released with the update. So let's have a look instantly. And very short and fast reminder, the pressure range is now wider, starts from 26 and goes to 27 for a good optimum grip, but you can play a lot with the pressures and add rotation and support on your mechanical grip. The temperature range also is a little bit wider, but even most importantly, the surface temperature is very dynamic, and that might affect the grip of your tires depending how much camber, how much toe you're using, and so on. We talk about what's happening with the alignment, the flex of the tires, the heat generation, and so on and so forth, and also how to generate rotation to your car from the actual tire flex, camber, alignment, all that stuff. So today we are going to start talking about the suspension, and we are starting with the bump stops. So it's very important to understand up and up and up. What happened to the chat? Frozen. Why are we frozen? Let me double check. Oh, we're still here. What happened? We had a 1 minute freeze. That's unfortunate. All right, let's try again. Okay, I think we are still live. So let's start from where we stopped. Practically tonight we're going to talk about suspensions, and we start with the bump stop and the suspension travel. What's going on? In 1.8, in the old version, if you would hit a very hard bump on the road or a very high sausage curb, for example, and at enough speed, the suspension would compress, the bump stop would compress, but the bump stop compression could be infinite. And that's a not very good thing. It was a limitation of the simulation. That would mean that on occasion, and especially on very hard and big curbs, the suspension would really get a lot of compression. That would make the suspension geometry, go out of bounds and not be as well. And most importantly, it would create a lot of energy inside the suspension spring and bump stop, because as you know, the bump stop, the more it compresses and the stiffer it gets, much stiffer. It's not linear, it's geometric, it goes up, it's hyperbolic, it goes up really fast. And eventually all this energy had to be released in extension, and that means that your car would simply bounce out from the curb, and we had all these bad situations where on some curbs the cars would jump a little bit too much for comfort, let's say, right? Okay, so in Assetto Corsa version 1.9, which comes out this coming week, after 20 to 30 millimeters max, and on some cars even less, depending, the bump stops now don't have any more travel. They stop compressing, the suspension ends the travel, and then you hit the chassis flexing practically, and you're traveling on the chassis. Now this might you might think that this is, you know, a worst case scenario and the car might jump, but it has both disadvantages and advantages. First of all, going on the suspension end of travel and relying on the chassis flex, it's not going to be nice for your mechanical grip. And secondly, the good news is that at least you are not creating so much energy to the suspension to release at the extension. Okay. Another very important thing is that hopefully we are going to force you, and this is what happens on our initial test, to use a stiffer suspension. Okay. So what this means is that if you use very soft suspension in order to make the car go lower, because maybe you have a little bit less drag and gain 1 km/h of top speed, as it was happening with some setups out there, now in order to get the best possible mechanical grip, you are going to need a stiffer suspension. Stiffer suspension will compress the bump stop on the correct amount. It will not take all of the energy to the chassis, which is flexible and has no damping at all, and that would make for a better mechanical grip and a better control of the suspension movement, the suspension geometry, and possibly over the caps as well. All right, so all that good theory, all that sounds nice, interesting, and cool, whatever. But what actually happens, you know, when you're driving? Let's have a go and find out, right? Okay, let's go in game. And yeah, let's try, you know, Imola with the Ferrari, with which everybody had something to say about, and see what happens. I'm going to get the aggressive setup. As you can see, the aggressive setup already has a negative rake, so higher the front, lower the rear. Not going to change much.
Green light, give it all you can.
Let's go in and just do a lap. Not that bad, right? And the car is even, the tires are even cold, so doesn't look that bad. Am I right, guys? Nice rotation on the exit from the tires, as we said, on acceleration. Oh, lost the curve over there, but doesn't matter. Let's rotate the car on acceleration. Still classical aggressive setup, nothing has changed. Nice braking over here. And let's go over here. Boink. Let's exaggerate a little bit. And here we are at Variante Alta. Wasn't that bad, right? Oi! Cold tires, still cold brakes, everything. So, I'm not dead. Is that good? This is the default aggressive setup. Obviously, I'm exaggerating here, and that doesn't mean that you cannot make mistakes and you cannot I'm pretty sure that, you know, e-sport drivers and other drivers will probably start to abusing curbs way too much. But I believe that it's better for everybody. It's a better solution. I agree that maybe we don't have the damage on the you know, under tray and stuff like this, but it is a better solution for everybody. It's going to be much more enjoyable and more realistic up to a point. And just abusing the curbs like this, you see, like that, doesn't really make you always faster. Because if you're jumping too much, you might not losing control, but still the traction control might engage, you know, you see the control here might not be very well if you are abusing too much, so you're losing time. But it's good for the control, it's good that you can attack if you need it, it's good for the overtakes, and so on and so forth. Let's have a look on the replays and see how the car handles from the outside. Judging from the chat, I believe that you like what you see, guys. Okay, here we are. Let's have a look. Look how the car nicely absorbs the bumps, bounces around, but still stays in control. Okay? Look at this. Nice bounce. Look at that. Look at how naturally the car absorbs the bumps. Let's have a look at this. Isn't that nice? Boink. There is something magical and mystical on how a car behaves, right? Yeah, doink. Ah, so cool. Let's have a look at what happens at Variante Alta. Ah, here we are. Nice. Even too nice. Let's have a look at that again. And there you have it. Okay? Is it always like that? A very nice question on the chat I can see. Is this a more realistic simulation, or is this just, you know, making it easier for sim racers? Well, here's what happens if you overdid it and you don't take the correct line. So here you can see I'm jumping way too much. Car bounces a lot. And then I'm going inside and still sliding. And obviously I have problems controlling. And if you go over those sausages here, yes, you can control the car, but look at the bouncing, okay, and look at how you're actually losing acceleration. Now, here's something important that I would like to say regarding bumps, ground collisions, stuff like that. So let me find my so probably they're going to demonetize my channel right now, but it doesn't matter. I want to show you a couple of things. So, okay. So let's stop for a minute. The game, and I want to show you the last race at IMSA, Sebring, and I want to show you the first accident from the Ferrari 488, where he lost control in exactly the typical way when you are, you know, all that Sebring is very bumpy, so he was touching the ground and lost control of the rear end. Look at this. You see? Now, if that's not so clear for you, let me show you another example. So I was watching this here, and I was liking, guys, honestly, I'm swearing, I was looking at the live stream of the race, and I was like, oh my god, the Porsche is so low, while the Ferrari behind it's higher. You can even see the ground. How can the Porsche not touching the ground? You know, how is that possible? And when I was thinking that, this happens. Look at that. Bumps. Porsche goes in. Boink, 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 boink. Oh. You saw that? You saw that? That was the perfect example of, you know, having the car very low, making a small mistake and taking a bump way too hard, and instantly, you know, this happened. Okay? And an extra something for you guys. Here it is what happens. Unfortunately, we don't have this kind of, you know, damage, but look at that. So yeah, cars do jump around. Cars do jump around. Okay, and lose even pieces. We cannot do that, but yeah, cars do jump around. And I want to show you something extra. Now, so you'll know this guy here, I believe. Let's see if I can find out the correct. Yeah, you all know this guy. Okay, now Valentino Rossi, multi-champion MotoGP, so for sure a capable driver. He's still learning on cars, but you know, still a very capable driver. People were complaining about how the Audi jumps around at the Variante Alta and so on, but you know, that's from last year at Imola, Variante Alta. A little bit of a mistake, boink. Did you saw that? Let me show you again. So, could you see how much actually the car jumped because of the wrong line? Okay, look at this. Poink, through the air. Good control, but, you know, the cars do jump around. Let's have a go on the Audi, on the same track, and see what we can do. What do you think about it? So let's quit and have a go at the Audi. We're gonna take the same car. Alright, so again, aggressive setup, not touching anything. Let's go on and see what is going to happen.
Green light, go, go, go.
A bit of curbs. Nice rotation on the exit, on the accelerator. Good control of the suspension over everything. Good line, no problems. There we go. Now we're gonna make another lap and take a horse line and see what happens. See? Boink. Too much rotation on the exit. Look at that wonderful power oversteer at the exit. I overdid it, oh. But I overdid it anyway. So, the end result is that you can make mistakes, you are going to make your car bounce. You also have to work with the setup in order to achieve the correct amount of stiffness, bump stop, riding, dampers, everything to make it work. I'm not saying that you are going to get 1.9 and instantly jump over all the curbs and everything is going to be wonderful and nothing will, unbalance your car. That's not going to be the case. But for sure, I believe we have a very good improvement. You can see here again. Okay, and now you can also control even better the bouncing, again, working together with springs, bump stops, and dampers. Okay, so why we also talk about how having very soft suspension and going to the bumpers doesn't always pay out, especially in 1.9, and you need to find the correct compromise in the suspension. I want to show you an example of this, and it is also a very nice situation to show you also the improvements on the rolling resistance of the tires. So let's get out from here. Actually, I'll let you have a look at the Variante Alta. Excellent. Okay, quit. But it's also important, again, to remember, if you're going to overdo it with the setup, if you're going to have an extremely low setup, extremely soft and everything, at the end of the day, you are going to have issues anyway. So it also happens in real life. I think we have made a very good step in the correct direction. But remember, problems still exist. It's still, a simulator, so... Goto says, and other people says, please show us the McLaren 720. I will, but also the Mercedes later on. But let's first have a look about the suspension and rolling resistance and how you can deal with the suspension stiffness and what kind of results you might get. Okay? So let's go to Paul Ricard. Let's get one of the famous cars with a lot of drag that didn't have enough top speed in Assetto Corsa Competizione. Alright? So let's go there and see what happens. So, setup, aggressive setup. This is the kind of setup it uses, obviously as low rear wing as possible. But you know what, let's put it another one up and see what happens. But I don't know, I will let it exactly as it is. I'm not touching anything. It's a bit on the soft side because, all the habits, you need a soft setup to go down and gain a couple of kilometers. Let's see if this is necessary now. On we go. Nice acceleration, rotation, new suspension forces, so good. So let's go. We are in a hot weather right now, 34 degrees, something like that. and 284 almost, and then we go. So 283, almost 284, not that bad. Tires still not in the correct pressure, so we can still maybe gain something from there. I think it's not that bad. You can see how the tires go over the curbs and the suspension reacts. Relatively neutral, you know, handling. Not a big problem with the turns. I'm not saying it's the best possible setup, but so let's go to the setup, and let's do an experiment. I'm not saying that the meta setups are as they were, okay, they are working like that, but usually what you get is, you know, very soft springs, riding on the bump stops, very soft springs at the minimum, and riding on the bump stops like that. Okay, usually they do stuff like this. I'm not saying that this is the correct setup to go fast, but I am going to exaggerate it to show you what has changed, and what different kinds of situation can happen with a setup like this. So very soft setup, and let's go. Everything else is exactly the same as before. Understeer, lots of understeer, and oversteer, snap. Still understeer. Doesn't rotate, or when it rotates it just goes. Okay, 1 kilometer extra of top speed. I overdid it, that was mainly my fault, but then again, the car didn't really want to, you know, follow my... So, I think it's pretty evident. Let me show you once more the document and what it means. Okay, so if we go here again, this is what happens right now. So we have extremely soft suspension. The suspension compresses the bump stop. The bump stop arrives at something like 20-30 millimeters of compression, and that's it. And when that happens, the suspension doesn't move anymore. So all you have to absorb the, you know, small bumps and undulations of the asphalt and tire vibrations and all that stuff is the stiffness of the tire, which, you know, bounce around and doesn't have any damping, and the chassis flex, which again doesn't have any damping, and it's also strains back and forth. It doesn't sweet you. So what we want is a stiffer suspension, so that when we go to the bump stops, okay, we don't also together with the stiff suspension and the bump stop stiffness, we don't end the suspension travel. We just go to the bump stops and then go back down again. All right, so let's have a go and see what will happen with a stiffer suspension. So again, I'm not doing anything strange. I'm just gonna go into a stiffer suspension here, something like that. Okay, that's it. So okay, it is pretty much the same clicks as before. We started from the default aggressive, which was okay. We went down to full soft, and now we're going back to, again, very low bump stops. That might not be ideal, but at least we are using stiffer suspension, okay? On top of that, I would like also to use a little bit extra bumping, and damping, sorry, in order to control better the car. I'm just clicking randomly now, you know, dice. But hopefully that will help us with all the control of the stiffness and still have suspension travel. It is important to have suspension travel. Oh, someone says that the left and right is not correct. Yeah, sorry about that. Okay. So let's have a go and see. Translations of the document. I don't know, but if you guys want to translate it, by all means, you know, do so. Look at the rotation already. This is not by any means a good setup, a balanced setup. You know, it's not going to be a setup that's going to give you possibilities, but it is a setup that already rotates because there is suspension travel. Look at this. We had a bad exit, but let's see what kind of top speed we're gonna make. And 283 again. So practically we've lost 1 kilometer per hour. Look at this, I can still control the car. I can rotate the car with the accelerator. Ooh, even oversteer. Even though it is a very stiff suspension, we can still control the bouncing from the curves. Because it's better to have suspension travel even if it's stiff than have soft suspension but no travel. Okay, is that a good demonstration, guys? What do you think about it? Let's have a replay, maybe here. Look at this, you see, the car still bounces a lot. We can fix that. You can work with the dampers, you can work with the springs, you can work with the bump stops. You don't always want the suspension to travel a lot. You want to limit the suspension travel, but you need to have suspension travel, okay? All right, so BMW demonstration. So this is interesting. We can go and have a look at the BMW because we also have electronics improvements, and I also have to explain to you that sometimes the BOP will simply limit the you know, the power of the cars at a certain top speed. So sometimes, for example, the Bentley, even with the new tires and everything, it will arrive somewhere around 277, and that's it. 278, maybe 279, that's it. Because the BOP just limited the power of the car at those RPMs where this top speed is achievable, and you cannot go any faster. So that is a limitation that has nothing to do with the rolling resistance. But, you know, okay, so drive.
Green light, go, go, go.
Look at a very nice rotation. And the traction control letting you slide the rear end in full control. '81, '82, come on, '83. There you have it. Wonderful rotation. Definitely a very easy car to push to the limit. Obviously, getting out the lap time is a completely different story. Let's see how the traction control and the improvements we made to the logic, very different from car to car, but let's see how it can let us control the car in slide out of the very slow corners. So traction control 1 now. See, it let me slide the tires and then just saved me at the very last moment, but you need also to be on top of it and do the correct decisions. Yup, my bad. Skill issue. I don't know what wing we have now, maybe 2 or 1, something like that. Didn't even check. Well, too much. You see? Now you have to be careful. If you want to ride that traction control 1, it will really let you go. But again, it depends on the car. So in the BMW, you can do this, have very good control, and still, you know, gain acceleration. And the traction control doesn't stop you. But if you are too aggressive with your pedal inputs, then the car will bite back, and you're simply gonna lose a lot of time, if not speed. Look at this. And then it just goes. Okay? Now, obviously, by doing that, you can see already the rear tire is start to overheat. You know, you lose some, you gain some. There's always advantages and disadvantages in a racing car. Have a look at the replay at the last corner, so nice. There you are. You see, it just let the car do the slides. So beautiful. Look at this. It lets the car do the slide, you control it, straight line, and just goes. So beautiful. This is running on the default aggressive setup, medium suspension, and what aero do we have? 0. Makes sense. So this is it. What else do we have? So we talk about the bump stops, we talk about the suspension stiffness. We have improvements on the damper curves and how they control the suspension movements, and you can also control with the dampers the handling of the car and also the aerodynamic balance of the car. Let me show you an example of this. So how you can control with dampers the aerodynamic balance of the car. I'm gonna quit this and go to Barcelona, which T3 is quite good to check these things. It's not, you know, it's not a coincidence that Barcelona is such a good track and everybody goes there to do testing. It's a very difficult track, very hard on the tires, but it's very good at testing because it has all kinds of turns and helps you try new things on the car. Let's get the Mercedes, right? Got this, yeah, looking good. Nice. So I've seen already many messages, posts, etc. around the web, the socials, and in the chat right now that you will need to relearn how to drive the game and so on and so forth. Modesty apart, I don't believe that's going to be the case. You will do whatever you know to do. You will, drive with your own technique. And I believe you will only find benefits, that you will be able to rotate the car better and have a more balanced car, that it's not only usually you could make the car neutral and then you could go on the exit of the turn and the car would understeer. Now it's balanced all through the turn, from turning to the middle of the corner to the exit of the corner. And if you do something, you're going to find it also in another sector of the corner. So I think from that aspect, it's going to be interesting. So aggressive setup has quite a bit of wing as well. This is the situation with the dampers. Let me lower, actually no, let's leave the dampers as they are right now. Let's go for a drive.
Green light. Go, go, go. Low tire pressure. Stay clear of the curbs.
Caterpillar, we talked about the whole tow-out thing yesterday. Almost 2 hours of live stream. So, here we are, Barcelona. T3, very long turn. Okay. Go in, you release a little bit, and then you accelerate. You see the car rotates, a little bit of understeer, but still, good balanced car. Okay. Same here. We are turning and a little bit of power oversteer, and we get out. So let's say that you saw that at T3 we had a quite balanced car, a little bit of understeer, but let's say for whatever reason we want even more understeer. We don't feel confident with that, especially at the T4, okay, and we want a little bit more understeer. So an easy way to do that, obviously, is going to the aero, make the rear right height lower, the typical stuff. You know how it is. The aero is the first thing to touch after the pressures, and you can achieve whatever you want. But we just want a fine-tuning, just a little bit. So I'm going to exaggerate a little bit and see what is going to happen. But what I want is the front end to go up in extension when I'm on the accelerator. So I'm going to make the front rebound, the slow rebound, very, very soft. Very, very soft. And the rear bump, also soft. Okay? And by that, I want the rear end to squat more, and I want the front end to go in extension, and so the front right height is going to be higher while I'm driving, okay? And hopefully this is going to give me more understeer and more stability. Let's see if I'm right.
Low tire pressure. Stay away from curbs.
It's gonna happen the opposite. Now, truth to be told, guys, I am the first to admit that dampers are very tricky stuff in real life as well. So let's see, T3, let's go in. Already I can see some understeer, but let's... No, doesn't turn anymore. Come on. Yeah, okay. So we had a little bit extra understeer here. Again, we're talking really... Look at this. A little bit of butt understeer. So I had some power oversteer, I catched it, and then I went wide. So you see how with the dampers you can fine tune. This is probably a little bit exaggerated, and I really want to underline the fact that dampers are difficult to understand and difficult also to feel in the driving. But I believe that you can now practically feel what's going on, okay? So let's have a look at the opposite direction. Go in the setup and make a very stiff front rebound and very stiff rear bump. So what this is going to do, when I will go into the accelerator, the very stiff front rebound will not permit the front end to rise, so it will stay lower. And by lower, and not squatting at the rear as well, it's going to keep the aero balance more to the front. Okay, so let's see.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curves.
In we go again. You already see that I have some oversteer. Okay, let's go in. Look at how the car stays close to the line. You see? Oh, yeah, it works. I think it works. What do you think, guys? Oversteer? So, as you can see, you can really not only change the mechanical grip of the car, but also influence the aerodynamic balance by working with the dampers and having and influence the ride height, the dynamic ride height of the car during the turn and during your inputs, acceleration or, you know, deceleration, braking, and so on. So it only takes a couple of millimeters of ride height, but it is a big deal, as you can see here. You see how the car now follows the line and stays close. Obviously, that's not the fastest way to go around, but it is a very good demonstration that now it happens while in the different previous configuration of the dampers, I was going, you know, wide in understeer. What do you think about that? Right? Okay. Last thing I would like to show you. What was the last thing I wanted to show you? I think someone asked from... Yes, Flicker Dogs, we do have jacking up and down effects for sure. So let's have a look at... yeah, some people ask for Imola with the Mercedes and with the McLaren. So I'm going to do a lap at Imola with the Mercedes and McLaren. Matthias asks if cars like Nissan and Bentley that don't race in real life anymore are still viable and competitive. They are competitive on specific tracks. We cannot make them competitive everywhere, but they are competitive on specific tracks. You know, you can even win in one of them. We are still going to... Right now, you know, we're trying to understand if the cars have a good BOP, the top cars have a good BOP for the sport championship, and that will also help you guys out when you're racing. And when we are pretty happy with that, hopefully we are going to improve also the competitiveness of the older cars. They are not going to be, you know, top of the line, but certainly we want them to get closer. Flavio Gatamuro, thank you so much, buddy, for your support. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys, everybody, for the support and the follow as well. You've been really amazing this yesterday and today. So setup, aggressive setup, and let's go to the track. I think you're gonna see that the some guys are asking Crispin. He's asking about the traction control 2, and people were using traction control 2 to 0 level. Well, 0 level doesn't mean that you are disabling it. It means that you are using a different value, and that's it. But we've worked on that, and I believe that for most of the cars that they're using traction control 2, you're gonna find out some interesting differences, and hopefully you'll be happy with that. Nope, too much. My bad. Skill issue. Too much rotation, too early on the accelerator. We believe that the cars will be slower by half a second or thereabouts, except on some specific tracks, you know, like Monza, where the rolling resistance will probably make a difference, and you're gonna be a little bit faster. Or equal. Probably equal. Hello, Roland Runner. Thank you so much for your support, buddy. I don't know the answer to your questions because braking collisions, maybe. I don't know if you want to rephrase, please. So, this is the Mercedes at Imola. Let's have a look from the outside, see what the car is capable of doing. Now, the collisions, guys, are always have to do with the network. You either have a correct, accurate network, or you do predictions, and there are always advantages and disadvantages for every system. If you're doing predictions, you might have ghost collisions. If you're not doing prediction and you're doing accurate position of the car, then you might happen to have, you know, very hard collisions. So it's always difficult like this. Hey, Gob, thank you, buddy. Listen to the sound of this V8, amazing. can also see how, you know, a car that is not as efficient, but no, it's said to be draggy. The straight line still is capable of doing 267, 266 kilometers at the straight line of Imola in a very hot weather with a normal aggressive setup. So again, we are having improvements of the rolling resistance and the top speed. 266, not bad. Okay, so someone asked also for the McLaren, right? So let's go and get the McLaren. This is older chicane, big curves. We can go there, but you know, it's one of those situations where it's you know, it's very big curves. So Daniel, thank you so much, buddy. Appreciate it. Bathurst, oh, I love Bathurst. Yeah. David, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we are doing work on the BOP. It might not be perfect for all the tracks right now, but we are working initially at Monza, Brands Hatch, and Spa, and hopefully we will get even better as we move forward with the real championship as well. So I hope that you will appreciate, guys, that we are going to work very closely with the eSport drivers to get the cars as equal as possible. Too much. You see, it doesn't always pay to go over the curves like crazy. Oh, skill issue. Again, guys, I remind you, don't expect to jump into a car, go into the curbs, take them full head-on without the correct, you know, amount of steering input, pedal input, and so on, and the car will just save you. It won't happen, okay? You need to collaborate with the car. So I don't want to hear people that, you know, after the release is out, they go into the curbs like crazy, the car jumps around like crazy, and they post the video and, oh, nothing is fixed. It's not going to happen. But I believe that for people that care, they will find a very good improvement. Oh my God, Sky, come on, mate. Come on. Thank you so much, buddy. This is amazing. Thank you. Ooh, too fast. Okay, we saved it somehow. Fred, sì, cercherò di fare una live in italiano. Non ti so ancora dire quando, perché abbiamo la release questa settimana e dopo devo andare a Monza, ma dentro la settimana o magari subito dopo, magari facciamo una live per tutto quanto in italiano. Hey, you see? Too much. Losing time, Sliding around, bouncing, doesn't pay. Okay, let's have a look at the replay. I think it's pretty nice. Look at that. You see how much it jumped the car, still control it way too much. That's not the correct way to take the curve. But if you do it properly, you will instantly see that it is much, much better than before. You see? Thank you everybody for the follow. You're so many. I cannot really read and see how your names. Usually I call out the new followers by their name, but unfortunately today and yesterday it's really impossible. But thank you so much. You're far too kind. Oh, Ulton Park. That's a very nice. Yeah, thank you, Chris. We can do Ulton Park. Let's go. Let's do Ulton Park. Really enjoyable. Quit here. The default setups, the preferred sets are still quite valid. There's still much room for improvement, and if we have a preset that we simply don't like, please let us know and we can go there and try to make it better. But yeah, it's pretty good. In Porsche Cup, you say? Don't have it. I don't know if I have the necessary skills, but we can try it. Ulton Park, Porsche Cup. Thank you, buddy. You're so good, so nice of you. Thank you. Okay, let's go the aggressive, and off we go.
Green light, give it all you can. Low tire pressure, stay away from curbs.
Ooh. Everything is cold. Hey, cold, cold. Come on, heat up the tires. Let's attack this curb. Boink. And the other one. One more lap. I've lost the chat, I need to scroll down. Obviously I'm attacking everything now so that you can see how it moves around. You can also see some lateral movements of the tire flex if you stay careful on what the car is doing. Hello tires. one more pass over here. All right, so let's have a look at the replay so I can catch the chat and see what you guys thinking about it. All right, that's nice. Let's start from here. We'll start. Yeah, I believe you're gonna feel a different range of force feedback. How to say, force, damping, movements around. I feel them, and I think the range is even wider now, so it will also help you to catch some drifts and feel better what's going on with the movement of the car through the tires. Let me know, you know? The wet tires PS pressure is still the same, it's high. Obviously all the changes we did on the slicks, they apply on the wet tires as well. So yeah. Says the Nomio, yes, I will be at Monza, so come and find us, guys. Yeah, the physics updates are still the same. No, Femke, it's pretty much similar. You can see how the car body moves around depending on what you do and what it does when it takes the bumps. I will be at Monza on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, probably even Thursday, I'm not sure about that. No, I don't think you need to readjust your force feedback setting, except if you've done really crazy things. What do you need on the brakes? Audi Evo 2 at Ulton. Yeah, we can do that. Hello team, take care buddy, have a great night. No, you don't require a higher system. All right, so next, someone asked about the Audi R8 here at Ulton, so we can do that. And then maybe I will try the Nissan at, that's nice, Nissan at Bathurst, maybe, something like that. Hey Zach, thank you buddy, thank you so much. Really appreciate it, thank you for the kind words. I have driven the 488 at the start of the stream at Imola. In case you missed it, you can rewind and have a look. No, I'm not going to show you anything of the new content. This is the job for your favorite influencers, streamers, journalists that have the you know, the release, and they will be showing you everything on the day of the release. Okay, let's have a lap.
Green light, go, go, go. go.
Way too fast. Okay, we got it. Attack this curve there, and this one here. Hey David! Thank you buddy, David's one of the casuals of our Discord server. Really looking forward guys to meet you somewhere. Monza is a good opportunity now for the people here in Italy, or people visiting Monza, Spa possibly in like 2 months from now. So yeah, let's do this. Look at how much speed you can bring into the turn. Oh, hey, overdid it. Nice rotation at the exit on full throttle. Again here, look at the rotation, we go in. Whoop, skill issue again. Reading the chat way too much when driving. Rotation. And let's go. Brand's hat, say go. Thanks again for the support, buddy. I don't know. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know. Replay. It's replay time. Let's have a look at the last lap here. Seems to be nice. What an incredible sound from the V10. Look at this. You see how the car absorbed the whole bumps and didn't just bounce around, uncontrollably. Again, look at here. The suspension actually works to absorb any kind of heat from the bumps and the curbs. Wait. So as usual, we do not make senses of the force feedback. The force feedback in our titles is always extremely pure. Forces arriving from the tires and the suspension, they get you know, through the leverage system of the suspension geometry to the steering wheel, and we send a number of 0 to 100, you know, to the USB to control your steering wheel. So it's that pure and that simple. We always said and talked about that. It's a simple fact. The quality improvements you're gonna feel, hopefully, in the force feedback are because the tires do more work, the suspension with the dampers do more work, and all this is translated to your force feedback. So it's pure stuff. We don't do specifically something on the force feedback drivers or whatever. Okay, so someone said Zolder on what car? I don't remember. Bentley maybe, something like this. And then we do a Bathurst, and then we call it a day. What do you think? Bentley Zolder. Okay, let's do Bentley Zolder, and then we go to Bathurst. Okay, aggressive. We talk about the electronics and how there is a full logic that permits you. We saw that with the BMW and how it goes. You had much more options to control the slides depending on what traction control you have. We also have new traction control logics for newer cars and so on. And I cannot show it to you yet, but for example, at the new Huracan Evo 2, we also have echo maps that also affect the engine braking, which is quite a nice feature, and it's quite nice to explore and see what happens. Oui. Go down to 1 traction control level. But how nice the slide towards the outside happens now. Wonderful. Good. Okay, let's rotate with the accelerator. You see, I have options to close the turn if I have made a mistake. My mistake again. Did you listen to the traction control working? Look how you can close the turn now at the exit. What? Full send. Too much. You see, you can overdo it, you can gain control, but you're losing so much time if you do so. Alright, let's have a look at the replay from the outside and enjoy. Ah, so big. Look how the rear end rotates. Did you notice the rear end rotating at the exit of the corner? Haha, that was nice. Let's have a look again. Poor car. Ah, way too much. Oh, all right. Beautiful. It's easier to abuse the tires because it's fun and it's really going to bite you back when you do it. So don't do it if you really want to have some proper performance. Okay, so someone asked about Bathurst. Yeah, and what was it? Nissan? Maybe? Or something else? Do you guys have a different opinion about that? Come on, KTM Expo. No, not right now. Alright, everybody says about the Godzilla, so let's go and get the Godzilla. Alright, where is it? Here it is. Ah, let's do it. Simple aggressive setup, let's go. What an amazing track. So difficult, so technical, so risky and dangerous. Impressive. Alright, let's go. Oh, see how in the exit wanted to rotate a bit too much? Still cold tires. Oof. Need to heat up the tires because It's a bit risky. Oh, 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 skill issue. Ah, come on, Aris. Is it too much? Ah, no. Let's try it again. Let's go back. Tell you, it's easy to abuse it, you know, and feel good about it, but it's gonna fight back. Too much of everything. Take it a little bit easier now, maybe. First lap out of the pits. Stay calm. Nice, nice and easy. Heat up everything properly. Are you ready to unleash the Godzilla? Let's go! Let's go downhill. Ooh. Oh! Oh, that's fast. Oof. Okay, somehow we stopped the car. Inside here. So nice. Oh, oh, little touch on the wall over there. Or the rear end stepping out. Let's go. Ah, it's so exhilarating. You notice a little power oversteer at the exit? Zilstra. Man, I will never be able to not butcher your nickname. Sorry about that, but thank you so much for the support. Thank you, buddy. And stop the car. Oh. And there you have it. 445 in the full heat. That wasn't that bad either. Let's go to the replay. Wonderful, wonderful. Really great. We don't care, guys. We go for full realism here. Guys, for the guys that asking a lot of questions, look at how close it goes. You are asking things that I cannot reply or I don't know how to reply because are outside my... Ooh! Just a small touch there on the wall. So I cannot tell you. You will see what arrives, and hopefully maybe other developers will let you know if there are improvements on other aspects as well. My job here is to show you the new physics, and hopefully you will appreciate that and have fun. That's the most important thing. Look at the exit. I just went a little bit on the tires there and had a slight power oversteer. So beautiful. Yomorin, thank you, buddy. That's the M6. It's been a while I haven't been driving the M6 properly. Surprises are possible. And there you have it, a lap at Bathurst on the Nissan, the Godzilla. So good, so good. Alright, guys. What time is it? We have a little bit extra. Let's see, what would you like to see? We could do... Someone says the M6. It's been a while. You want to see the M6 at Bathurst or somewhere else? You are asking me things about content and future stuff that I don't know, and I cannot do any answers, and I cannot give you any replies, only on the official channels. Ooh, the chat is going into fire. I cannot catch up. Come on, guys, don't spam the chat. It's impossible to follow. It's impossible to follow the chat. No, track limits do not change. The M6 at the Nürburgring. That sounds interesting. Let's have a go. Now that's because of the development build that I'm using. It's extra stuff that works only for us, so it doesn't have to do with your build, guys. Robert, I have already talked about the electronics. The new cars we are going to talk about, we're going to make specific live streams for the new cars where we will, you know, showcase the cars, showcase the new electronics on them, and so on and so forth. We're in the Nürburgring today in the Miata. Yay! Miata! Miata gang! Well done. You did enjoy it, right? It was amazing, wasn't it?
Green light, show them what you got.
Okay, let's see how the M6 rotates now under acceleration here. Look at this. That was good already, but cold tires, so let's wait a little bit to heat up the tires and have more support at the rear end. Look at this, rotation at the exit. Oh, went too wide. Okay, oh, too bad. Don't die, absorb. Okay, we've made it. Ooh. Too much chart reading as usual. Lost the braking reference point. Let's go over the curb. No, contact phase from car to car is the same. Oof. Overdid it again. Alright, so there you are. The cars are definitely faster on the straight. We already saw the Porsche achieving 283 kilometers per hour at Paul Ricard. Okay. What else? I think, yeah, I'm starting to be a little bit tired, guys. I hope you can understand. Let me see if there is a final request of something. And if there is not, we will close. Otherwise, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of requests, but just one final request. Of course, the Aston Martin is still here, obviously. We just drove Porsche Cup at Oulton Park. We talk about the electronics through the whole stream, pretty much. Oh my god, so many. Oh, okay, the chat is going on fire again. I cannot even follow. Jag. I don't know even if it's just a couple of guys or everybody. Okay, the Jaguar at Monza. I'll try it. I haven't tried it at Monza. Just to make you happy, guys. Where is it? Here you are. Oh my god, what a dinosaur. Incredible. Red. I don't even know what kind of fire it has. Oh my god, we are gonna die. Yeah. I'll admit it's been a while I haven't been touching this car, so we might need to, you know, work a little bit with it. So much power. Hey, straight. Brings a smile to my face every single time. Probably not the best car to demonstrate everything. Just a little bit clipping right now. A bit too much. Too much. What a car! It really is a beast. Unbelievable. Stop the car. Oh. Yeah, it was a little bit hard to stop it from 278 kilometers per hour. That's 281, Jesus. Ridiculous. Ooh. It's, the sausage flexes like, you know, like it's made of paper. Rotate the car, come on. We almost did it. 10 doesn't go. Wow. All right, okay. I think that's enough. But you get the idea. Kind of a fun car, let's say. Sì, David, ci sarò a Monza. So, guys, again, so, okay, let's I think let's close it here, all right? So, let's go back here. Well, first of all, I would really like to thank you all, guys, for you know, joining the live stream. You've been so many, and I really appreciate it. I think that was amazing that you show so much support and you really care about knowing about your Assetto Corsa Competizione. What can I say? Everybody in KUNOS is so, you know, anxious to see if you're gonna enjoy it. We really hope so that you will. We are confident that it has been a very good job, and the initial feedback we also get from the sport drivers is pretty good. So here it is. There is so much more depth to analyze. We are going to do that to our own live streams, you know, the typical Aris Drives live streams. We are going to get each car, find solutions, each track, find solutions, see how you can work around with the setup to get better and understand how much depth there is now in the simulation, and how you can explore it, what kind of options you have to improve your car, or just, you know, to make a car that is better for you to drive. Thank you so much again for joining. Keep tuning in on our official social channels, because you're gonna find all the information about the release of the update, the release of the DLC with the new cars and track. You are going to find the information about the KUNOS night race that we always do a day before, and we are going to be at Monza the next weekend. I'll be there pretty much all the weekend. Come and join us. The tickets are extremely affordable for the whole Monza weekend. If you see me, you know, walking around, don't hesitate, stop me, let's have a chat, let's have a beer, let's have a gelato or whatever, because maybe it's going to be a little bit hot. And most importantly, let's have fun. Tune in next week as we will be exploring the new cars and the new track. What can I say? Thank you so much again for everything. You guys rock, and wish you a great week and a great Sunday night. Good night. Here you are. Happy now? Yeah? Okay? Can we go home? Yes? Okay. Good night.